In this course, I will cover a lot of topics. We will start with an introduction to Windows Server 2019. This will include the different editions of Windows Server 2019. I will cover licensing, activation. We'll also look at how you can install the operating system, and we'll actually walk through a full install. Actually, we walk through a couple of different installs using different configurations. I also cover PowerShell in this module because we will use PowerShell quite a bit throughout this course. So there's an introduction to PowerShell in this first topic we cover. The second module will be Active Directory Domain Services on Windows Server 2019. I will cover how to manage users, groups, computers. I will also cover group policy, so you will know how you can manage large groups of users with pretty straightforward configurations, how you can also manage large groups of computers. In Module 3, we'll cover Azure Active Directory. One of the biggest differences between Windows Server 2019 and the older Windows Server operating systems is how it's intended to integrate with Azure. So we'll look at Azure Active Directory so you can see how you create user accounts in the cloud, how those things work, and I will show you how you can integrate your Windows Server 2019 with Azure itself, and also how we can integrate Active Directory domain services that you would have in your on-premise environment with Azure Active Directory. In Module 4, I'm going to cover IP version 4 and IP version 6. That's just something that everyone that works in IT has to be aware of, the basics of IP addressing. In Module 5, I will cover DHCP. So we'll see how we can set up a DHCP server. We'll look at how it can automatically assign IP addresses to devices on our network. And we'll also cover DNS, which is our name resolution service. It'll resolve names for websites on the internet. All of our machines we have on our network, it will resolve those names to IP addresses as well. In Module 6, we will cover file servers and storage. We'll look at creating these advanced storage pools. So you can take a collection of drives that you have purchased and you can put them together just to get a massive amount of space. So we'll look at everything related to how we can manage file servers. In Module 7, I will cover Hyper-V virtualization. So we will do a deep dive on how Hyper-V can actually be configured, and we'll go through all the settings of a Hyper-V host, and we'll look at all the configuration settings related to virtual machines that we can create. In Module 8, we will look at disaster recovery in Windows Server 2019. In Module 9, I will cover storage area networks. I will actually set up an iSCSI SAN, and we will also look at failover clustering. So if you have file servers, application servers that have to always be available, I will show you how you can put those in a failover cluster. So if one server fails, all the data, applications, websites would still be available. They would just run on a second server that you would have in your cluster. In Module 10, we will look at implementing WSUS, which is Microsoft's update server. So we'll see how I can have a WSUS server on my network, download updates from Microsoft, and how I can distribute those updates to my Windows 10 machines, servers on the network itself. In Module 11, we will cover remote access. Most companies do have some type of virtual private network configuration, so users can work from home and they can still access resources on the internal network. We'll look at exactly how that is set up using Windows Server 2019. In Module 12, we will cover performance monitoring. There are about 10 tools natively built into Windows Server that you can use to monitor memory, CPU, storage, network, and some of these are incredibly detailed tools. So we'll take a look at how all those tools are actually utilized and in what situations you would use which tool.